Hey everybody, welcome back to the day after Christmas, episode 54, I believe.
It is 54 because it's Saturday.
Yes, and
we're a little confused about the days of the week.
So confused. Yeah.
It's Saturday.
Having the whole week off has been great, but then it's just kind of like out of our routine and doing things in Christmas. Obviously, we're out of sorts. We hope everybody.
Well, we're not out of sorts. We're perfectly happy.
Yeah. We hope everybody had a happy holiday. Despite all the challenges we've had this year and not being able to see family and stuff, we are just going to share our day and our dinner, which turned out amazing, with some hiccups.
with some hiccups. It's Boxing Day.
It is Boxing Day, so happy Boxing Day. I didn't really know what it was. Specifically, David looked it up.
We looked it up. We looked it up because I've always known that the day after Christmas was called Boxing Day, and I knew that it was an English thing and that they also celebrated or recognized or whatever in Canada and Australia and stuff.
Doesn't
like
have
that.
to do with boxing.
It is not about boxing. It's not about fisticuffs or pugilism.
I've never heard that word before.
You never heard? Boxers are pugilists.
I don't
Really?
know that.
You never heard that word?
No.
Oh. I just made it up.
I might have to look it up in the dictionary now.
You could.
Or use it, pepper it into conversations from now on.
Recall the word loser
Peppered
peppered
in the
throughout the conversation.
Oh my gosh,
No,
that's funny.
Boxing Day began as a tradition where wealthy English families would give, since their servants worked on Christmas Day for the big family Christmas get-together, then they would give them the 26th off so they could go spend time with their families. and the word boxing means, or is derived from the fact, well, it's a little unclear, but some people think it came from the fact that the wealthy people would put boxes together with food and gifts and money in that, so the servants could take them home to their families. It's also a day where you're supposed to do charitable things, or at least that was the tradition. So another theory is that churches in England would put boxes out to collect money, and then on the 26th of December they distribute the money to
That's nice.
needy families. However, now it's really become more of like a shopping thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the opposite
Returning
of charity.
gifts.
It's returning gifts and buying new stuff and using gift cards that you got for Christmas. So it kind of loses the charitable aspect of it. But happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day. We're going to share some gifts that we got. As you can see right here, we got new microphones.
I just spelled.
Uh-oh. That's the only
Pay
problem
no
with
attention.
these is
So now we can do like this.
we might sing later on. No, not today. But we got them, these new microphones, which is fun, and they work very well, so we're excited about that. Our studio's coming together.
A little mixing thing, so
Yeah.
a little interface so that we can connect to our devices.
Yes. So that's super fun. We had fun putting those together yesterday and trying them out. I got finally, like, maybe the last person in the world to have these, but I got Airpods. I've always been scared to get these because I lose things often, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to be trusted with such a delicate device. However, I think that since we're home, we haven't gone anywhere, so
Yeah,
I'm trusting that I can actually hang on to these, so I'm super excited. Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're welcome. I like them much better than regular headphones, and I was very resistant to the idea for the same reason. Especially because in the old days when I used to run, I would listen to music, and I was afraid that I would lose them if they were not tethered to my phone or whatever. But I find that they are much easier to work with, and they also they're great for meetings, like Teams meetings or Zoom, because you can connect them to a PC as well as to a Mac or an iPhone or whatever. And what always drove me nuts when I was using regular headphones in Teams meetings is someone would invariably say, "You're fading out, I can't hear you." And it's just like, dude, that's the technology, man.
Yeah, what do you want me to do?
But with the AirPods, you don't have to worry about that because, if you move, you don't lose when you use the old headphones that have the microphone down here, you know, it can get covered under your shirt collar
Yeah.
or, you know, whatever, you move a certain way while you're talking or whatever, and it cuts in and out. And for whatever reason, I was always the one in every meeting when people would say, "You're cutting in and out." So that got on my nerves.
But-
So when I finally realized that I could connect my AirPods to my PC, because I use a PC for work, problem solved.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to teach me how to set it up because I don't.
The only thing I noticed is, well, what happened with, I mean, you've been able to do it for a long time. It's not a new thing. But our company-wide, we got a software upgrade at a certain point, and for some reason it became much easier to do. Don't ask me the technological
Yeah, I don't know.
explanation of it. I don't know. But one of my coworkers noticed that in the morning she would listen to podcasts on her iPhone, and she was up, you know, kind of getting ready for the day. She was listening to some podcast on her iPhone, and then turned on her work computer, and it started broadcasting. Now, this is a little unclear to me. It's apparently started broadcasting through the speakers on her computer, not from her AirPods.
Oh, that's weird.
So, but somehow or another, her computer was connecting through Bluetooth to her iPhone. So she therefore presumed that it could also connect to her AirPods, since they're both Apple things, and it turned out that was true. And then it was very easy to do. However, it's a little aggressive, because sometimes if you're, like if I usually work out in the morning, and a lot of times I'm listening to music, and I'll still have the music playing when I come upstairs. I'll have the reverse thing happen. I'll be listening to music, I'll turn on my work computer, and the AirPods will automatically connect to my work PC, and the music stops. And I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, you're like, I'm not ready yet.
So there's too many devices. But anyway, I think they're great.
I am super excited. I just think that having my headphones, and I've even tried to do a workout like holding my phone with my headphones, and it's just like it's a disaster. So that doesn't work very well.
That's the other thing we have.
That was one of my gifts to David. If you can see it, we'll post a picture. Tell him who it is.
It's John Prine, one of my favorite artists of all time. I realize we're moving away from the microphone, so it's probably fading away. We're just getting used to all this. They are John Prine can cooler. They're very sophisticated because it actually has a top that screws on and off.
Yeah, you actually unscrew this, and then we are enjoying an Allagash Light.
All the way from Maine. So we got Maine, we got Nashville.
Yeah.
We got Maywood, Illinois, because actually John Prine, as I've mentioned in the past before, is from just a couple of towns over from where we live, a town called Maywood, Illinois. So before he was in Nashville, he was a Chicago folk hero. He's one of my favorite artists, and sadly this year passed away due to complications from COVID.
Yep.
So that was a very sad thing. He was
Definitely.
one of the first, you know, sort of famous people that I knew who passed away. I mean, I didn't know him personally,
right,
you know, like that. But I mean, of the people that I follow and I'm fans of and whatnot. And I've been a fan of John Prine's music since the mid-'70s. So he's one of my all-time favorite
And this, when
artists.
we show you the picture, we'll post it. It's super cute. So
it's a drawing of him sitting. This is a water tower like you see on, you know, top of buildings and old buildings in cities, and he's sitting in the water tower playing guitar. So it's really a
very
nice
cute.
nice thing, and
we would use them often.
we use them often, and anything as a tribute to one of the great singer-songwriters in American history.
Definitely. Another show and tell I have is what I got for, as you know, many of you know, I'm a food blogger, and one trick for food photography is this kind of wrapping paper, and that looks like marble, but it's two-sided, so that you can do food photography there. I got that one. And then I also got this one, which is just a variation of that.
It also has two different patterns.
Yep.
So you can
Different
you can
colors.
set it on a flat surface if you're taking a picture down. You
Right.
can put it behind.
Yep.
Like when you go get, you know, a formal picture taken and they
Have a backdrop.
Hello. I just hit the
Testing.
microphone. Testing. You know, so
you'll see me with the background of this for my food for simulating. And it looks really real, so I love that. I have other ones that are wood kind of like background, so that's just adding to my collection, which is fun.
That's lovely. This is also a Christmas gift. This very nice pullover thing. Although it occurred to me when I opened it and I tried it on, and you said, well, and it's a little bit warm for indoors, although right now it's actually very comfortable. But it's very warm, and you said, oh, but it'll be good for like shoveling snow, and I'm like, oh yeah, and then I'm like, wait a minute, why am I shoveling snow?
I'll get one, and we can both be out there with matching.
But it is good for that.
Yeah.
It is good for that. It's also good for walking in the morning when it's very cold out and so forth. So.
Yeah. Okay, so this one you guys are going to laugh at, but this is truly going to be something that I use every day, and just, it'll bring me so much joy. A back scratcher. My skin is so dry, and literally there's one point in my back that is super itchy all the time, and it is impossible to scratch. So this I asked for, and I'm like super excited. I've already used it several times, and that's going to be great, which then led to a Shark Tank idea.
Are you going to give away our idea?
Yeah, because I mean, we'll be the first to produce it, so unless somebody beats us to the punch.
This is a copyrighted, patented. Well, it's not patented.
Right. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone.
But wouldn't it be awesome if there was a device, and maybe there is, we haven't Googled it yet, that kind of had like a roller on this, and then you could put lotion on it, and then you could do this and then put lotion on your back.
I can already tell one problem. We have to get the desktop stands for the microphones, because I keep elbowing the microphone.
So we will potentially get a mock-up and then go on Shark Tank and ask for 1% stake for $500,000 in our company that has no sales. But that's an idea. As one does.
By the way, I just have to go back to the microphone issue or thing for a minute. So we got new microphones and so forth. And yesterday we just did a short clip where we played a little bit of my favorite Christmas song, Darlene Love, Christmas Baby, Please Come Home. Also happens to be a really easy song to play on guitar. But be that as it may, it's a great song. And I always look forward, well, in the old days when David Letterman had his late night talk show, Darlene Love would always come on. Always be the last show before Christmas, so it might be Christmas Eve.
And we looked forward to it every year.
Yeah, and she would play that song, and they'd do a big production, and they'd have fake snow falling and all that. It's a great song, and Darlene Love is fantastic, great voice, and all that sort of thing. Kind of a legend of the East Coast.
And like every year when she came on, she looked like even better than the year before, and it's like, come on, like how is that possible?
But someone in the comments said, and this is at least the second time we've gotten this observation when we play little songs on guitar, someone said, well, do you sing when you play? And it's funny because we actually did that recently.
We just did it recently.
Because one of my sisters, and I've mentioned this in the past, her birthday is December 22nd, and that's when we used to always get our Christmas tree. But anyway, so this year, because obviously we couldn't have any kind of family get-together either for her birthday or for Christmas, her husband, my brother-in-law Brian, asked family members and friends and so forth to record a little video for my sister, and then Brian edited it all together as a birthday gift. It was a really, really cool idea.
Definitely.
And so we sang Happy Birthday. We played
Happy Birthday, which was like 3 chords, which was easy.
But we did it with electric guitars.
We did. If you don't know, we also own 2 electric guitars, so with amps and everything. So we decided it would be funnier if we used our electric guitars, because it would be unexpected.
And it sounded
really good.
The guitar playing was great, but it was hard to we used I think we did it on an iPhone.
I think we did do it on an iPhone.
And it sounded fine, but it was very difficult to pick up the vocals. Because we were singing, we were trying to sing loudly enough, but we're singing over electric guitar, and it mostly picked up the electric guitar.
Yeah.
So now that we have microphones on stands that will raise up to your face level,
And my electric guitar has a strap, so I could stand doing that. Where my
Yeah.
other one, my acoustic, does not have a strap.
That's right. That's another thing. And I don't like to sit and play because I'm fat. That's true. And when I'm sitting down, the guitar's way out here. And, you know, I mean, I know most of the chords that I play, but I still like to be able to look at the fretboard, you know, just to make sure here and there. You know, you do feel kind of cool when you're not looking at it, when you're just playing and singing or whatever.
Right.
But I still like to at least be able to glance down and see it. And if I'm you know, sitting down, it's a little more of a stretch.
So, in answer to your question, we might sing later on.
We might.
Now that we have the technology and equipment to do so, but
We might.
don't hold your breath.
I think we should do another version. Oh well, and the other
we're
the
gonna
other
do
thing.
karaoke.
Well, right. And the other problem with Christmas Baby Please Come Home was that, like, it occurred to me, you know, the guitar part is very simple, but I don't really know the words. I mean, I know the main part, you know. I know
That's
the
the hard
chorus.
part. It's like concentrating on playing and then concentrating on the words if you don't know it. That's
We would have had to, like, practice a whole thing.
Yeah.
We could have done different parts and all that, but it was Christmas Day.
we could have figured out harmony. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. I used to be able to do that years ago, but
I know,
it's,
me
you
too,
know, it's
but-
like anything else. You lose it if you don't use it.
That's true. And then this will be my first book that I'm reading in the new year, Barack Obama. I've had dreams that Michelle Obama and I are best friends several times, actually. So it is, I feel like we're sisters. And so I saw this on his Instagram when he was posting it, and I was like, I definitely want to read it. So I will let you know how that goes.
What's interesting about it, I always think of the 6 degrees of separation thing. And here's an example of how true
Yes.
that is. A friend of mine from high school, who after he went to Brown University and then he spent some time, he stayed in Rhode Island for a period of time after college and worked for the governor of Rhode Island. Then he came back to Illinois and worked for, and still works for, an environmental organization in Chicago. As a result of that, he actually got to know Barack Obama. Not real well, but they
Yeah.
communicated with
As
each
colleagues.
other. You know, back when Barack Obama was in the Illinois General Assembly, and I don't recall whether it was a state Senate campaign or his U.S. Senate. I think it was when he was running for the United States Senate in 2004. They actually took pictures of my friend Kevin and his family in a park in our town for their campaign website. So that's one connection to President Obama. The second one is a friend of mine from 8th grade,
Yeah.
who happens to be a lawyer and who works for an organization that's like a public interest organization, but it's interesting. It's a conservative organization. They're like kind of like a tax watchdog group. So they're keeping an eye on how state and local governments spend money and things like that.
Right.
It's called the Municipal Federation, I think. Whatever. In any event, but my friend Larry knew Barack. You know, also he worked for our former Republican governor George Ryan down in Springfield a long time ago. Got to know Barack Obama when he was in the state Senate. So we were at a
Band concert.
it was an orchestra concert. When our oldest was in junior high school, they had or middle school, I guess they call it. There was a high school. There was a concert at the high school with all the different middle school groups, jazz bands and not marching bands, but you know, all the different ensembles and everything. And it so happened that Larry had a daughter who went to a different school, but was in one of those performances, and they were sitting in front of us, and this was during the primary season in 2008, and at a break he's on his cell phone talking to someone, and he kept mentioning Barry, and Barry's doing really well, and he's probably got it wrapped up. And when he got off the phone, I said, Larry, what were you talking about? And then he told me the story about how he knew Barack Obama from those old days. So it's just kind of funny.
Yes, and our niece.
Oh, that's right. We have a third connection.
Yeah.
That's right.
campaigned for him in Iowa, and it was like something.
But it's more than that.
Yeah.
Because her husband, she was working on campaigns in Iowa. She met someone else who was working on campaigns, and they ultimately ended up getting married. Her husband's family is pretty well connected to the Iowa Democratic Party, so they also know Obama through that, and almost hosted a backyard party for him.
Right.
But because Austin is his name, Austin's parents' backyard was visible from a highway or a main thoroughfare, the Secret Service didn't want them to host it there, so they had it at a neighbor's like down the street. That was more
so close,
secluded.
But they met.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's our connection to.
So there's your 6 degrees of separation. I didn't know that we were going to get off on that tangent.
That's okay.
That's my fault.
It's all good. Update on our tattoo situation. So we are in the process of still setting that up and looking at different tattoo.
We're interviewing tattooers.
Yeah. We're looking on Instagrams, Facebook pages, recommendations, referrals of places in our town that has it. So we haven't locked in on one yet, but it's coming still.
So, all right, so I know we've been running long because we got onto the
it's all good.
6 degrees of separation tangent. But of course, it wouldn't be Christmas without Bruce. So
I love that album cover. It's like really cool.
Yeah, well, and I think these photos are all like taken in. It looks like Central Park to me. So I've only heard a couple songs off this album. Haven't had a chance to play it yet.
On a record player.
Somebody took my stereo system down and is using it as a desk for work now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to make some arrangements, but
we'll figure it out.
Well, we got the new Bruce. I'm very excited about that. It's getting rave reviews. Oh, and it also comes with a booklet on the inside.
Does it have the lyrics?
It does have lyrics.
I think any album you get that doesn't have the lyrics is not good because you want to like learn the songs. Maybe we'll learn a song here and then sing one of these songs.
I just out of the blue decided to learn Better Days today, and picked it up like that. Well, it's a pretty simple song.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's off of Lucky Town, if I'm not mistaken. When he released 2 albums at the same time, Human Touch and Lucky Town, when he was early in his what was supposed to be the post E Street Band period of his career, and then he ended up bringing the E Street Band back. But anyway.
And then we were also talking about on New Year's Eve, since it's a Thursday, of doing our second Instagram Live at 8 p.m. Chicago time, Central, just to like hop on, whoever wants to join us. We typically we've always stayed home on New Year's Eve just because it's like more fun to do that than trying to like celebrate in a huge crowd or whatever. And when I was younger, I always worked at restaurants or hotels, and it was just kind of like I always had to work. So it was always like, yay, Happy New Year, kind of thing.
No Times Square this year.
Yeah, no Times Square. Although I did see, and I think I showed you, they have like some bubble or something, like a little plastic igloo that you can rent out.
On Broadway?
Yeah, like right where the ball drops, right where your headquarters office is, where you could stand there. But that would be even more awkward. I'm sure people, I don't even know what they're planning to do. But it would be weird to have, be in an igloo and have like people all around you just kind of like staring at you.
In the old days, like every year except this year, the people who worked in our New York office would have to leave early on
oh my god, yeah, or else they wouldn't be able to get out.
Or they would get stuck in Times Square, and it was a real hassle.
Yeah, when we went to New York the first time, when David showed me where his office was, I was like, you said it was by the where the ball drops. It's exactly right there.
Right there.
So,
yeah, it's not on Broadway. It's on 7th, but yeah, it's right there.
Yeah, at least if there was windows to see it, that could be a fun place to hang out
But then you'd be stuck. Though.
You'd be stuck, but then you could bring food and there'd be a bathroom and all that stuff.
Well, that's true.
Have drinks.
I don't think they let people stay in the building though. I think people have to leave. They don't want people getting stuck there.
Probably not. So for our next episode, we're going to do a wrap-up of 2020 and looking forward to 2021. And I don't really have like resolutions per se that I know of right at the back on top of my head.
My resolution is no resolutions.
Yes. So that's
if there's something you should be doing, start doing it.
yeah, that's a resolution. But anyway, we hope you guys had a good weekend and a happy holiday. If you're off next week, that's amazing too. We're going to be off several days next week, which is great. So yeah, we will see you next time, and have a good night. Bye, everybody.
Good night.